And so I think, what I'd like to do is just kind of start off really with Marc telling us a little bit about how this project came about and kind of specifically what it is and what folks may expect, and then also how you came to start working with David.
Well, I'll start maybe with how I started working with David in this. We first started working together. I think we met a couple times before that, but I was curating this festival in Germany called Century of Song, and I wanted to do. It was a bunch of separate events, and I wanted to do. It was defined to me as American song, and I wanted to, at least on one of them, if not more, interpret American in its broader sense, and to bring in people who were, to bring in some music that was not only working in English, and so, and also I felt like jamming with Dave. So we started working together there, and during that time I started to notice. I'd long been observing some kind of, when I was doing my band Cubanos Postizos, and also working with some of John Zorn's so-called radical new Jewish music things, I started to notice some kind of funny things about music that was being presented as underneath the world, quote unquote, world music label, which is, first of all, I started to notice that world music seemed to be, seemed to be generally third world music. And it's interesting, the word that is repressed, the lacuna, you might call it, the word that got dropped out of that equation is the word that refers to differentials in power, first versus third versus second. And so I started to think about that, and I thought, okay, well, that's cool. There's like, people want to have this dialogue with some other kind of, other, but it kind of bugged me because it seemed like it was like the dialogue was only happening as long as it was reifying. It felt more like it was fixing. I mean, like, for example, with the radical new Jewish music stuff, it didn't do much redefining of the terms. I mean, in the end, it came down to playing music with minor third interval leaps, so it sounded like what people already recognized. So it sounded like what people already recognized as Jewish music was the stuff that was getting booked, and the stuff that was, I mean, yeah, granted, people would add noise elements to it, or they'd add some other kind of thing that would let people know, play it on loud electric guitars or something, so that people would know that it was now. But in terms of what the main criterion was, it always had to have this kind of thing, this minor third interval thing, this klezmer scale thing, as a kind of a sign in there. And that started to, I don't know, that started to bother me a little bit. Anyways, one of the things that I liked about David's music was that you play what you like.
Yeah.
You play blues, you play what you what you remember, and what you like, what is based on, seems based on whatever you desire to play. And weren't your music and Los Lobos music doesn't fit into any kind of cookie cutter of anything. So, and yet it makes a certain kind of sense. I mean, it sounds like you. So I don't know, I don't have this all defined, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, you know? I don't have it worked out, so maybe we'll get further.
Yeah.